Hey guys, YadaHard1995 here. It's been a while. My last video was 2 months ago. Sorry about that, guys. There's a big reason why I haven't been posting videos. It's because of this card. Not just because I wanted the other Vanquish communities, if they wanted to play this card, to have a chance at their WCQs. And since it's all over now, I can kind of word it out and explain what this card really does. So, if you guys don't know what Powersink does, is each time a monster effect is activated, plays one spellstone counter on this card, maxes 2. While this card has 2 spellstone counters, neither player can activate effects of face-up monsters on field. Also, the effects of face-up monsters are negated. That's a big one. So neither player can even activate it, and it's like a skill drain. And then the last effect is once per turn during the end phase, if this card has any spellstone counters, remove them. So I'll explain why this card's good. So I'm just gonna set it straight away and show why it's good. So let's just say I go through my Vanquish combo. So this I always thought is really good in Vanquish. Okay, let's say I get my usual Jarlon combo. So let's just say I have another fire instead of like a DD Crow. Actually, let's just put Pentel. Let's just put an Ash in hand for now. Let's just say I have another fire. I use effect. Summon Jarlon. And then I can go Vast into Grave and add it back. There's 2 ways of doing this too. Is if you think they have Veil or Imperm, you don't have to add back. You don't have even make rock. You can just summon like Borga and just draw. So another way of doing this too is, let's say you don't want to do that. You know you got Powersink. You can just bounce this back. Summon Borga, bounce this back to hand, and then like draw a card. And let's just say that's a good card, whatever. Okay, and then you set after you search for Jarl. Let's say you search for Snow Devil, or if you got negated. Let's say you got negated and you played through essentially like one interruption, right? You go on their draw phase, right? You can literally go Powersink straight away, and you can go Jarl straight away. Let's say I go Jarl. And let's say I got Caesar. Now I can do 2 things here. I can go, before they even play, I can go Borga, put a counter, and they can't play. And that's when the things will happen. They're basically all negated, and you can't even attempt to activate your face-up card on field. This doesn't stop your hand and graveyard effects. So I want people to know you can still play from the graveyard and from your hand. This is just all in the field. Reason why this is so good, because what you essentially can do is when let's say they pass because they couldn't play, this is where the big thing happens, and this is the quickest way I can explain it. Is end phase. Let's just say that I haven't used the effects. Let's say this is not the same turn. Let's say I just summon a new. Let's say I have Caesar here instead. Right, and let's just say I have an Earth instead of using Borga there. I can go end phase, I can use Caesar effect to put a counter on it, just to stop them from playing next turn. And then I can go draw phase, go Jarl effect, and then I can go 2 counters again. Because it says every end phase takes 2 counters off once. So if I can have an established board, let's say I have these guys, and end phase, there's no spell or stone counter, and I'm passing to him after I've done all my effects. Right, let's say, oh sorry, not when I've done all my effects. Let's say I didn't use any effects because I just had 0. I can go on end phase, I can use Jarl, and then Borga or Caesar, and they get 2 counters on their turn. Essentially, this becomes like a lock. Is they can't play. They've essentially been locked out of the game until they draw like Cosmic or MST, any answer to this card, right? But they can't use any monsters for that answer. It has to be like a spell or like a trap for the answer. Yes, this card's really bad against like trap decks and like Runic Sun for obvious reasons. But since I built the deck for like Shifter to stop like the Runic stuff, and Lab's just an inherently like better matchup for me because I can just beat it because my cards don't target. essentially this whole video is just about talking about Powersink Stone and why it works so well in our Vanquish. And I guess this is also the future of Vanquish too. So Powersink Stone basically got me 2 tops this year. It got me top 16 at States, which is equivalent of nationals for the North American people and Europe, or I guess Opens they called it. And it also got me top Oceans WCQ. I didn't do a deck profile because there's actually no point. My deck was very similar, if not very on point with my States one. So I'm just going to drop my States one because they were nearly the exact same version of the deck. Like, the only things is like I swapped some cards out from the main, or like I swapped some cards from the side, and I kind of didn't like it. I actually like my States one better. It was really the extra deck that changed. I'll just explain the extra deck. Instead of playing Princess, I really just played a Harmonizer instead. That's really the only difference in the extra deck too. If you want to check out the deck profile. Well, this video is just for like talking about why Powersink Stone is so good. Essentially, this card was brought to my attention about, I would say, November or October last year, where I think a lab player, and he like Powersink Stoned me when I was playing Vanquish. And somehow I managed to maneuver the Powersink Stone to him. And then I started thinking like, oh shit, this is very good in my deck. And then obviously I played Master a little bit with Powersink Stone to just test it out, even though I'm the maxi and stuff. And then I started testing it out against people in real life. And I couldn't believe how much of an impact this card had on people. They just didn't understand, or they just didn't think it was like a big deal to them because they were just playing the best deck in the room, or they just didn't think that this card's really good. Until I explained it to them and they're like, oh. And there's no way you can build a deck to know this card. That you're versing Vanquish at a premier event and you have no idea about this card, and you verse it, and there's no way you can prep for that. And plus, I'm not going to draw it every game too. Like, there's definitely going to be games where I just don't draw it too. So it's just an element of surprise. I think that's the reason why I did so well the last 2 premier events. Obviously, my YCS first was Summon Women instead, a different fight game. But looking back on it, I could have actually played Powersink Stone. But the only reason I decided not to is because of Fire King Snake Eyes specifically. Fire King can actually play under Powersink Stone quite well and skill drain. So I didn't want to go that route at ICS, so I chose the Summon Women route because I did inherently should beat a lot of people's decks at that time. That's because Fire King Snake Eyes and Snake Eyes were the best decks at that time. And essentially this card was just so good in my head. It was more of a theory test, and then once I tested it out States, and I did so well with it because people just didn't know, and they just wouldn't side back row because, you know, 9 times out of 10 I'm just setting a Snow Devil or Imperm. They wouldn't think nothing of it. But then I flip this card out and I just go, oh shit. And I really like this card. Like, this card is another Star Strike Blast card that people have forgotten about. It did get reprinted in the Fire King structure deck, so it is a common, which is one I have. Essentially, this whole video is just about explaining what Powersink Stone really does in Vanquish. It's probably the best way I can explain it without going too in-depth of like, I guess going too much of me like ranting about it. It's just more of like explaining what this card really does for Vanquish, honestly. And I'm surprised a lot of people didn't try it or like even give it a chance. They just thought it's just a stupid floodgate or a stupid card, but it's actually much better than that. It's actually helps your deck play against the meta decks on a fair level too. Let's be honest here, Fiendsmith Snake Eyes right now, Fiendsmith Yubel is just not a fair deck to verse. And if you go first against that deck, better be expecting like multiple hand traps. And especially with the existence of Melchami, actually beats Vanquish even harder. So Powersink Stone actually gets better and better and better. So again, this is the future of Vanquish for me and / Powersink Stone. But mostly talking about Powersink Stone. Powersink Stone should be in my newly ever Vanquish deck, honestly. I feel like if you're not playing this card, or at least try to side this card, I feel like you're inting a bit, because this card is just so busted. Like, it's so broken against so many decks, and people just don't expect this card. So I just wanted to make a video on this. It's been 2 months, guys. I hope you guys all been well. I will be doing deck profiles again, and I'll be doing shorts too with Master Duel, because I've been grinding on Master Duel a lot. I have gotten 2 jobs, so sorry for the lack of uploads, but I will be making time. As you can tell, this is like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm about to head out and do stuff later on. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful evening if you're watching in the evening. And yeah, this is just a Powersink Stone, I guess, card explanation slash me updated on me too. We'll be making more videos. I will hope to see you guys very soon, and I'll be making videos daily, so don't worry about you guys. I always remember every single one. Thank you guys for all the support, especially the Vanquish show and my friends in real life. Thank you guys for all the support. Thank you for all the testing and practice, and I can't believe I top 3 premium events. And thank you, Yassine, for the shout out and all the Vanquish show deep deck tiers. Appreciate you, bro. I appreciate everyone that's mentioned me in their videos too, if I've forgotten. And I'm just going to keep trying to make this deck work, no matter what. Hopefully we get support, but I will be playing different decks in the future, so if you see me with a different deck, that's just how it is. Can't play Vanquish every single time, but we'll be making updated decks for sure, so don't worry about that. And we'll be updating the deck for each meta, no matter what, because this deck is so underrated, and I generally believe this deck has the chance to win something one day. So peace, guys.